It's been 22 years since the worst terror attack on American soil. On the morning of September 11, 2001, the world watched in horror and disbelief as 4 coordinated terror attacks were carried out by Osama bin Laden's Al-Qaeda. The terror group first picked key buildings in New York City and Washington, D.C., and then hijacked 4 commercial airlines and finally executed their devious plot. 2 planes, minutes apart, crashed into the north and south towers of the World Trade Center in New York City. In less than 2 hours, the twin towers, each standing 110 stories tall, collapsed into a massive cloud of dust and debris. The hijackers steered the 3rd plane and crashed it into the western face of the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. A 4th plane was intended for the White House or the U.S. Capitol, but passengers on board resisted the hijackers and the plane crash-landed in a field in Pennsylvania. The coordinated terrorist attacks claimed the lives of nearly 3,000 innocent people and left the U.S. in shock, mourning and disbelief. The scale of the terror attack and loss of lives ushered a new era of fear and insecurity in the U.S., but it also had a massive global impact as well, ladies and gentlemen. In the aftermath of 9/11, the United States embarked on a relentless pursuit of justice, launching the global war on terror, invading Afghanistan to dismantle the Al-Qaeda network responsible for the attacks. Then 10 years after 9/11 came a pivotal moment in the quest for justice. U.S. Navy SEALs executed a night raid on a compound in Abbottabad in Pakistan. This covert operation led to the death of Osama bin Laden, the mastermind of the dastardly terror attack. The world watched as the man responsible for orchestrating one of the deadliest terror acts in history was brought to justice. 22 years after the attacks, nearly 40% of the victims are yet to be identified. The 9/11 Memorial and Museum at Ground Zero stands as a solemn tribute to the victims, survivors, and heroes of that fateful day.
Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country. I have spoken to the Vice President, to the Governor of New York, to the Director of the FBI, and have ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families and to conduct a full-scale investigation to hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act. Terrorism against our nation will not stand. And now, if you join me in a moment of silence. May God bless the victims, their families, and America.
Jesus sets before us the hope of the kingdom of God. All that is broken will be bound up in God's healing love. All that is marred by weakness and sin will be transformed by God's reconciling love. It is in this hope that we bring to God our prayers, ourselves, our remembrances, and look to God for the new life of the kingdom.
It's 22 years, and this is the way I still feel like yesterday. I can't tell you. It's hard. It's my 2nd child.
The only thing that's different is that he's been missing from our lives for 22 years. So this day is still significant in my life. I have not come complacent in knowing that this tragedy has caused a lot of pain, not only to me and my family, but to others who have experienced this horrible, horrible thing.
Narita is my sister. I'm her brother, Hiram Gonzalez. This is her daughter that she left behind at 7 years old. Oh, her smile. Everybody loved her smile. You know, that's what everybody brings out to her about my sister.